So let's dive into responsive design. Now, as mentioned, I won't dive too deeply into it. There are whole courses about responsive designs, and there is so much you can do about it. You can go all the way from which units to pick, over how you structure your layout, to using responsive images. In this course, in this module here, I want to give you some resources where you can dive deeper, and I want to focus on the latter 2 points I mentioned: how to create responsive layouts and how to use images in a responsive way. Even there, you can dive much deeper, and I want to focus on the features we can add to create a progressive web app and not so much on the responsive design. I will say that though, a true progressive web app of course is responsive. If our goal is to recreate a native mobile app feeling, we obviously have to make sure our application looks and works nice on mobile devices, basically works and looks nice on all devices. So it is important, it's just that there are so many resources that I don't unnecessarily want to bloat this course, since you could spend an entire course just on that topic. So let's have a look at the core things I want to discuss in this course, or I want to have a look at in this course. That is that you should use CSS media queries to adjust your layout and design. And of course, I'll show this concept in code in a second. CSS media queries allow you to apply different CSS styles depending on the width and or height of the given device. So by using these queries, you can decide that a certain box should be, let's say, 300 pixels wide on bigger devices and only 100 pixels wide on smaller devices. Combined with that, we obviously want to follow a mobile-first paradigm when developing progressive web apps. Our goal is to recreate a native mobile app-like feeling, so obviously we should develop for mobile. What mobile first means is something I'll also show you in the next lectures. And finally, there are images. Now, images can be made responsive in 2 ways. For one, you can of course style them in a responsive way, so use media queries to adjust the size and so on. But you can also decide which image file should get loaded, because you probably don't need that big high-density file on a small device. You might save that for a huge desktop screen. So these are the core topics I want to dive into briefly in this module to get you thinking about it so that you have it in mind. And I can only encourage you to dive into dedicated courses and tutorials, which then dive much deeper into all the features you can use to create responsive designs with CSS and HTML.